to the father? That's a different category, though. Okay, but what do you have on the topic? It's a different category.
Okay, well, my situation is a little different because I've been co-parenting with my ex-husband for as long as we've been divorced, obviously, and I
But your
chose
children
not
are
to.
16, 17, and 18, right?
Yes, sir.
So they're almost out of the house, and you were married. So you're in a, yeah, your situation is much different.
Well, okay, well, if I may
Go
ask
ahead.
a question,
Sure.
um, I haven't really had a relationship since my divorce,
Okay.
and because I prioritize being a parent over
Mm-hmm.
dating or trying to establish another relationship. And I
Okay.
didn't want to bring another man, bring my, I guess,
So what's the
I
question?
guess my question is how do I get back out there and start dating again? I mean,
How
I've
long have you
been,
been divorced?
oh gosh, this year will be 14 years.
Goddamn.
Yeah, I know.
Gotta
But
ask the question. I gotta ask the question as polite as way
yes,
as
sir.
possible. If you haven't
Yes.
dated in 14 years, how you scratch your itch?
I mean, I casually dated
Okay.
like here and there,
But you haven't
but
had a relationship.
no, sir.
So if you were laid up in the hospital for 14 years with your leg in a cast, that muscle would have atrophied. Your dating muscles have atrophied. And that's where you're at. How do you get back out here? Depends on what kind of outcome do you want. What do you, if and when you get back out here, what do you want with a man? What kind of outcome?
I don't know how realistic it is for me to be married again, but I don't want to just be shacking up with uh, a
Why?
man no long.
Why?
Well,
Why?
because I have a
Because you're almost
daughter.
50. Let me just rubber meets the road on this. You're almost 50 years old.
I know.
Ain't nobody, most men ain't trying to marry a 50-year-old woman. I mean, most men. I'm not saying all, most. Because most men who want to get married want kids out of the deal. Because marrying you, you may be a perfectly lovely woman, but when a man enters a marital contract in the West, men become very exposed financially. Very. What if that you haven't had a relationship in 14 years? You get married and it doesn't go well, you've divorced, you can still pursue him in court. And you know, just like I know, women don't tend to leave divorce court destitute. Men do. This is why men typically are not looking to marry if there's not a real incentive. Children are a major incentive. What will be the incentive for a man to marry you since children are not on the table? That's what you're going to have to figure out if and when you decide to get back out and dating. I think it's going to be hard. I think just having a committed, monogamous, emotionally profound relationship for the rest of your life is far more plausible. But it's not what most women want. You want the security,
Hmm.
but you weren't. But you already had that, and you left it.
Yes, sir. But can I explain why? Um, I guess I'm prioritizing marriage over just having a long-term relationship. It's because of my daughter. I don't want her to think it is okay to just be in some long-term relationship and
That's
not be
fine, but
married.
men control access to marriage, not you. You can prioritize all you want to, and it's up to a man to initiate it.
That's true. I
You can
understand.
set your standard as high as wherever you like to, and that's your right. But it is up to, but if a man, but you have to have men who want to meet that. And in order to meet that, there has to be an incentive. What is that? What's the incentive for a man to meet your standard?
I guess when you put it that way, really nothing in the case because I'm not, in a position to have any more children and I'm, too
I'm
old.
just saying. I'm just saying that in the West, women have been told you can have it all, and the men are supposed to want nothing. You guys have your standards, and all I'm saying is fine. But what's the incentive for him to do that? And if you want something, I expect women who say you want something, you don't want anything less because of this outcome. I expect y'all to fight for it. I expect y'all to work for it just like you expect men to work to meet your standard. That's not asking too much. And when I ask women the question, more often than not, more likely than not, y'all just quit.
Okay,
You
but
will.
may I ask
You won't.
another question? Don't you think it would be a bad example for me to having a 16-year-old daughter and I end up getting in a relationship with a guy and we
I
move
don't
in
think
together?
your daughter is who she is. She don't give a shit about what you do with your life. Who do you think she is? She's 16. She can make babies herself.
Oh God, I wouldn't
I mean,
want
yeah, I
that.
mean, they're
I
your
don't,
babies, but they're not babies.
yeah,
I got
yeah,
news for y'all. Your daughters, you really want the truth? I'm gonna be honest. Most daughters don't want to grow up and be like their mothers alone. That's why this channel is growing. It wasn't when I said average or best, it was die alone.
right.
That's why these young women are coming to this platform saying, I don't want to be like my mama, my big mama, my name. I don't want to live by myself, focusing on my kids and such and so forth. And then when I become an empty nester, think I'm gonna just pull a man down off the shelf and get him to put me up here. Nope, that ain't how this shit works.
Okay.
You got a standard you want met, then you need to get out there and hustle and work and meet it. I mean, that's fair. I think that's fair. Well, when I said it, you almost was like, oh, that sounds like work. I'm gonna quit.
I mean, admittedly, I view dating as somewhat of a chore, because I hear stories about other friends in my cohort that are all their drama and things that they
Yeah,
go
and
through.
let me. How many of these women are drop dead gorgeous and in shape?
Mm,
Mm-hmm. So I
not
thought,
very many.
right. And
Yeah,
how about just in shape? Dress size
maybe
six or less.
maybe two of them.
Dress
Yeah,
size six or less.
I would say one.
Uh huh.
Teat.
Uh huh. And I'm sure she's just the nicest, most feminine, friendly, cooperative person to be around, right?
Actually, she is.
No, no,
She
no.
got
To a
a
man.
plum
To a
deal.
man. To a man. Not to a woman. To a man.
No, she is. I've
Really?
seen her interact with her
Uh huh.
ex.
Then why is she single?
Well, because she had a bum deal with her last relationship. It was
Always the
very
man's
unfortunate.
fault. Always the man's fault. Always.
I'm not blaming them. See, the
She said they had
situation was,
a bum deal in her last situation.
yeah, the guy that she was with in a long-term relationship ended up getting another girl pregnant. And she was a
Okay.
good Christian girl, and he just messed her over, and he's still
Of
trying to get
course,
back.
of course, and she was just Pollyanna purebred. She never did nothing wrong. She's just a good Christian girl. How old is this woman?
She's 36.
36. Does she have any children?
No.
hmm and they did it for how long?
Oh, goodness, 4 years?
He didn't marry her. Why?
I'm not certain about
Because
that
she
part of
wasn't a
it.
wife. See, what you want to look at, you want to take your friend's side. If your friend is the woman you're trying to describe, then why didn't he marry her? And then why would he go out and get another woman pregnant? So y'all side with each other because you believe the hype. I don't believe the hype. I just look at the results. I
That
just look at
makes
the results. Because if she was what you're trying to say, then she should have had plenty of options. Because attractive, fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, attractive 36-year-olds got plenty of options, especially with no children. Trust me. Those women don't lack for options. So they don't have to choose to get where they do. Now, I'm not going to say men are perfect. I'm not going to say that. She may have had a bum deal, as you say, but then, okay, why be there for 4 years? Why do we, in the black community, we do this for too long? We date
I kind of
forever.
told her she waited too long, that he should
But
have
why are
kind
you telling her that? Why didn't she value her? Why didn't she put a clock on herself?
I don't
See,
know.
she was complicit in this too.
And I agree with you, sir.
But
Yeah, I
you
do.
said, but that you agree with me now that I've done some digging and probing. Out of your mouth, you said she got a bum deal, and I call bullshit. That's why
Well,
I'm sitting right here because I call bullshit when you ladies come in with these sob ass stories.
okay, but you don't think it was wrong for the guy to get
I didn't
another?
say it wasn't wrong, but I'm saying that she was complicit as well.
Okay. Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
don't. And here's the thing. Okay, let's go there. Your friend never cheated on her man.
I don't know. I can't.
Ah, I'll be that damn.
I don't know. I mean,
But okay, would it surprise you to find out if she did?
no.
Okay, then. So there's evidence of his cheating, but there's none of hers. So you just assume she didn't.
Well, but I'm just going off her character and what I know
All
of her.
right, character, right, right. Mm, guys, this
But I do know
character.
that anyone's capable of anything,
She's a good
regardless of
Christian girl, right?
how they appear. Yes.
She's a good Christian girl. She go to church every Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. But she was having sex.
Well, yeah.
Ooh, wham. Do you want to talk to me about character at 36? Let me say it again.
Okay, you
Too
got me.
easy. Too easy. Too easy. You guys believe the best in your friends. I trust me. Your friends are impure as driven snow. And I guarantee you, she had cheated. Even if it wasn't physical, I guarantee she had other men in her Rolodex. Was she on dating apps?
That I think after they broke up, she
Uh-huh.
did go
She
on
have an
there
Instagram
briefly.
page?
She has Facebook.
Uh-huh. That has an inbox, guarantee you. Let's look. Do you think her inbox is stand? You think her inbox during a relationship could stand up to the light of day, light of sunlight? Think her text messages could stand up to the light to this platform in her relationship?
Uh,
Hell no, they wouldn't. That's cheating. So just because he got somebody pregnant, that just means he wasn't good at it. She was.
got a point there.
I know. Back to you, ma'am. If you want something, then you have to be willing to work to get what you want. Sounds to me like you want something without work.
Well, I have been working out and getting into shape, and I hired a trainer and all that.
That
So I'm in the process
goes
of dropping.
that goes into another thing. This is really the bigger problem when dating after 35. Women let themselves go physically. And then when you decide to flip the switch, you're so far behind on the fitness thing, it's almost like an insurmountable task. And that
Actually, I had two major surgeries, orthopedic surgeries on my feet last year. So I
uh,
was inactive. So I gained
ma'am,
some weight from
I
that.
get it. But you're going to know what I'm going to say. Right, wrong, or indifferent, the world does not owe you or me understanding. That's all it comes down to. Men ultimately look and say, "That's you know what men are saying. That's too bad," and they're gonna go on and get the woman that they want because I broke an ankle and I was laid up for 13 weeks non-weight bearing.
Hmm.
I didn't gain a bunch of weight because I watched what I put in my mouth.
All right.
I don't listen to a lot of excuses a lot of women have because the thing is you ladies have been told relationships are easy to come by and that you are the prize and that a man will be lucky. And what you're realizing is, it's competitive out here. And the kind and caliber of man that I want is rare. I ain't gonna have to do something to get him. I mean, unless you're talking about dating a guy that's on fries at McDonald's or a sandwich or at the Subway. I mean, would you date a guy that's making $40,000 a year?
Honestly, no, because of the type of stuff I like to do and,
Wow.
things that I like to do.
Wow. Wow. Why? The median income for a black man is running around 41.5 or 41,500. What state do you live in?
I live in Georgia. I'm in Atlanta
Oh,
area.
okay. Ma'am, hold on. This might get bumpy.
Oh,
You're 48
Lord.
years old?
Yes, sir.
How tall are you?
I am 5'7".
Dress size?
My dress size is a 10 right now, but I'm
Okay.
losing, like I said.
Okay. Um, I'm not even going to ask you how much you weigh. But the reality for women is still this. Your asking price goes down with age, not up with wisdom and experience.
And I
You
do
still
realize.
you still want to date like you were 20 with no kids. You're 48 and you will be fortunate to find a man making 45, $50,000 a year. That's right in the middle. That's the sweet spot. Who would be willing to go through the rest of this life with you? You'll be fortunate to find that. If you start putting anything on top of that, as far as a financial requirement, because of the kind of stuff you like to do, then you are talking about pricing yourself out of the market.
The only reason why I say that is because I know you had mentioned previously when women make more than men,
Mm-hmm.
that it can become a problem. And it's not that I have a
What happened? Oh, here we go. You said it become a problem.
yes, I think you had mentioned that on one of your previous shows before. Um, because I think your ideas, the
I'm
modern
also
woman,
we're talking about women who were still in the marriage with children phase, not women who are in the man almost 50. Um, I know what the prognosis like. We're talking about 20 to 30 more years of life left.
right? I understand.
What do you, and what kind of money? And what kind of money are we talking about? We talk about a man making 100,000 more.
He doesn't have to make 100,000. I mean, I'm just saying being in the same tax bracket as I am. Even if he's on the lower end, I mean, it doesn't even
Why?
matter.
Why does that matter? Why do
Well,
you?
because I
Why do
have,
you?
we will have bills, and
No,
I have a
you have
mortgage.
bills. You have bills that you can. All you need is somebody who can be self sufficient. You can take care of you. He can take care of him. That means you should be just fine. The problem is you want him to come up to your lifestyle level. And that's fine. But the men at your lifestyle level want different things.
Right.
Your tax bracket
Hmm.
is a tombstone. I'm serious. Because you got ladies got to understand that if you're talking about a man making $75,000 or more, that's 15% of black men. Those men have a lot of options. A lot. And they don't typically go for women who are their same age. They typically go for women who are younger. You know why not? And you know
Hmm.
why they don't? Because we're contemporaries. Men my age are tired of hearing the kind of stuff you're saying from women. We've lived our entire lives with it. I won't date women my age. I refuse to. All expectation, no delivery. And if I found one my age that wasn't that way, I'd be pleasantly surprised. Would I date us? Likely not, because I don't have to. And what you're saying you want a man for, you haven't had one in 14 years. Do you respect, man? Why do you think you can ask for more than average when you have below average relationship skills?
Well, that's something I'm willing to work on. I think
But you'll work on it.
interpersonal skills.
That means you'll be practicing on him. You'll be on the job training. Well, on the job training with low skills comes in at minimum wage, not CEO. You haven't had a relationship in 14 years. How long were you married?
10 years.
Huh?
10 years.
How many?
10. Can you not hear
10.
me?
No, I
10
couldn't.
years.
10 years. So you've been divorced longer than you're married, but 10 years is still a long time. But the point is 24 years. So arguably the last time you were out affected really on the dating market, which is in your early 20s, the Cosbys and shit was still, yeah, that was not the Cosbys. That was the late 90s. Man, the world has changed. And your relationship skills arguably are back that woman who was 22 years old because that 10-year period, you were being customized for that one man. And of the 14 years, you have had no real interaction with men from a dating standpoint. Hooking up, casual sex, that's one thing, but not interaction. That's far too many struggles to put a financial target on. I mean, you can do it, but I don't know who you expect to fulfill that. Because if you expect to date men around your same age, if a man is 52 years old, 55 years old, making your same tax bracket, don't you realize you're competing with every woman that's 21 years old or older who wants him to?
Yeah, that's the trepidation I have about dating because I do realize that. I do have male friends who, one recently divorced, a little older than me. I think he's like 50, 51 now. And the women he dates are in their 30s. So
Yeah,
I
I'm
have a lot
50.
of
I'll be
trepidation about
52, and
dating
I
for
don't
that
date.
reason.
And I will tell you, I don't show the women I date because it will be a problem. And that's the point, ma'am. So what I'm saying is the way women like yourself talk about dating is as if you have all the power and leverage, and you have none, little to none, in the very real world sense. So when a man who's an average earning man hears a woman who has real little to no real world sexual marketplace leverage, act as if, speak as if, talk as if these men are beneath them, it defies logic. That's why you see a lot of times people say delusion and denial, because like where are all these men that uh, give women that level of entitlement? Where are they? Because the men I know, just like your friends, they ain't checking for women that old for these very reasons. I think this is a good conversation, but ma'am, I would say you got to get far more realistic about your options. And a man is not there. You don't need a man for that kind of money anyway. You don't have any kids. You're not putting anybody through. You need somebody who can. If your lifestyle is that expensive, then you might need to downsize, which is what a lot of people are starting to do. Too much house, too much car, too much credit, too
Well,
many
that's the
clothes.
plan anyway. Yeah, that's the plan
Well,
anyway.
then, but
Once
so then you wouldn't need all that money if you were living a right sized life. And then you could actually find somebody to pick somebody on things that really matter more than money. Because if you want to pick a man on money, they're gonna pick women on looks. And a lot of men have more, and there's more men with money than women with looks and fitness. That's just the reality today in our community for sure. Because 80% are still need some work on that fitness component. All right, man. Appreciate you calling in.
thank you for your time. Have a good evening.
You too now. Bye bye.
All right, bye.
All right, that was a pretty good call. Boop 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 boop. All right. So let's see. Yeah, that was pretty good. Ladies, you can't keep putting these restrictions on men. The older you get, the lower you're gonna have to start adjusting your dating requirement, your ask. And women seem as though you think because you make more, you're further in your career, your standard of living is increased. Your sexual marketplace value goes like this as your age goes like this. It's inversely proportional. Inversely proportional.